So I think the first dance I was probably taught was the Macarena. And I think at times, well drunk, I still enjoy doing it. Anyways, this is an excerpt from my thesis novel. What you need to know is it's 1935. We're on a cruise liner going from Bombay to England. Roshan shuffle-walked as quickly as she could to the ballroom, keeping her head straight as her eyes darted about. The ballroom was decorated with beige and gold ribbons that hung from the ceilings to the walls, carefully entwined and bunched with purple and white flowers. Though it wasn't as grand as the dances she had been to in Bombay, it contained an enchantment like no other. She had never before felt this keenness at the prospect of meeting someone. Despite the draft, she felt hot and a sense of unease locked her back. There were too many people, hats and thick fur coats blocking her sight at every turn. She would never be able to find Armand. She had to explain to him and apologize for her irrational behavior. Once the misunderstanding was all cleared up, they could talk and dance like she had mused all evening. There were very few dancers on the dance floor. An old couple, a young mother with a very young son who just reached up to her waist, and the third pair, a husband and wife, who were celebrating their honeymoon and served as a great source of entertainment on the ship. It was rumored that the husband was the third son of the Nawab of Chhattisgarh and that he was banished by his father for taking up with a white woman. There were wagers made by passengers and crew members alike that after not being allowed an allowance and having to work a while, he would tire, lose all reverence for his bride's creamy peach complexion, and crawl back to Chhattisgarh to marry a girl of his father's choosing. "May I have this dance, young lady?" It was the captain. Roshan could feel everyone's eyes on her. Straightening the skirt of her dress, she let the captain lead her onto the dance floor. They played a simple waltz, easy as her 2 times table. Roshan took the opportunity to scour the crowd to search for Armand. "Something the matter, dear?" the captain asked her. "No, nothing at all. Charming man, your father." "Yes, he's very nice. He seems to have a great many plans for his young daughter." Not wanting to come across as impolite, Roshan gave up on her search and focused her attention on the captain's words. "I don't know too many Indian men who allow their daughters such opportunities," she heard him say, only to continue about the plight of women in Britain, how his mother was a dairymaid who had to raise 6 children. She listened politely, smiled and nodded until he started to talk about the poor opportunities for the education of women. "Captain, I know that not many women, especially Indian women, get such a chance. I'm very blessed and grateful and happy and plan to study and work hard and teach like my father, push the envelope, yes, of course." Now, dear, are you all right? You're very flushed." "I'm sorry, maybe you should sit down," said the captain, leading her to the side. No, I'm fine. It's an honor to have the captain ask you to dance." "You mustn't be so nervous, dear," he said as he twirled her to the left and added, "Try and enjoy yourself." When she was back in earshot, "I love dancing, Captain. I just don't know what's the matter." "I mean with life, young lady. You're going to do just fine. Just remember to enjoy it till the music's playing," he said, pointing to the musicians with his thumb for effect. Roshan thought it presumptuous of the old man to think that she didn't enjoy herself. She couldn't wait for the damn dance to be done with, and she mentally nailed his thumb to the wall. Time was short. Her father and Boris would soon be fetching her mother from the parlor, and then all of them would be on their way to the ballroom. Then she would be confined to chorus and his tiptoeing mechanical moves. The man danced as though he were afraid he would slip and fall any moment. At least the captain had fallen silent and was busy smiling at other dancers who had taken to the floor. The waltz transitioned into an upbeat foxtrot, and that's when she saw Armand. He was dancing with Lisa, the daughter of a retired lieutenant. Nostalgic for the life of the Raj, as was the case with most Englishmen, Lieutenant Harvey would come back to India during the winter months. The Harveys, of course, were of the few families who could afford the trip. The rest would just have to reminisce for the rest of their lives, warmer times when the ayah cooked and cleaned for you, the boy tended to odds and ends, including running to work with your dabba at noon, and of course, the driver taking you to and fro in the car assigned to you. Roshan felt an urge to pinch Lisa as she watched them twirl around the floor, graceful as dandelions in the wind. Her near-empty stomach started digesting itself. She accepted the offer to dance with a young Englishman. It had been his first trip to India, and he couldn't help but debrief her on all that he had seen. To be fair to him, he was charming, and it was her mind that was elsewhere. She was trying her best to keep her thoughts from mulling over her silliness. What was done was done. All she had to do was smile and act like she was having a fabulous time. After all, it's not like she could do anything about it. Approach a man. Armand was not like Boris or the other boys she usually met. A couple of them had even stolen a kiss or two, but she had never kissed them back. Their blabbering, oily lips adorned with bristly mustaches. Why did Parsi men think it stylish or attractive to have mustaches? Her father had one, but it was different for married men. Added character. Plus, he always made it a point to wash his mouth after every meal, unlike some men who bore evidence of their crusted breakfast all day. And so she vowed once again, as she glanced over at Armand's beautiful, clean-shaven face, that she would never marry a man with a mustache. Taking a leave from the Englishman, Roshan sat at one of the empty tables, cluttered with discarded wine glasses, and watched the other dancers and Armand delight on the dance floor, until her father found her. 2 tables away from them, Armand stood looking at his partner. In front of him stood a girl Roshan had not had the chance to meet. Her hair a reddish copper, something she had not seen until the voyage. She recalled reading somewhere that in the Middle Ages or something, people would burn women with red hair at the stake. Though she was jealous and really wished that it was she who was standing by Armand, that she was the reason for the smile on his face, his beautiful, clean face. She couldn't help but admire the beautiful jewel-colored locks of the woman who giddily stood but a few feet away.